Court is calling 2023 CR 1644, State versus Christopher Michael Delgado. Can I have parties announce?
Andrew Harris Edelman for the state.
Kurt Hopke for defense.
And are you Mr. Christopher Michael Delgado?
I am, yes, sir.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney?
I did.
Did you understand it?
I did understand.
Are you the same Christopher Michael Delgado who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 1644 for the offense of possession of controlled substance penalty group 1 less than 1 gram on August 28, 2023 for a period of 2 years? Is that you?
I said it.
All right, state.
In Bexarcounty, Texas, the defendant Christopher Michael Delgado did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February and March 2024 in violation of condition.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State waives the remaining violation allegations.
Any
No
objection?
objection, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine?
I do, Your Honor.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 4?
I do.
Court will find violation of condition number 4 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Judge. Extend for 1 year, amend for bi-weekly UAs and reporting for 2 months. Sober support classes and intensive outpatient treatment with credit for inpatient outpatient treatment upon proof of completion and new choices inpatient treatment.
All right. Thank you, State. You may be excused. So why didn't he report? You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, yes.
You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
My name is Christopher Michael Delgado.
All right, why are you not reporting?
I wasn't at the time because I was a homeless drug addict.
Mhm.
In August 20th, 2024, my life was changed when I went to Corazon Ministries and I was admitted into New Choices Treatment Center. I did the 90-day program, got out, was accepted to a sober home where I live now. I'm standing before you 8 months sober. At the time, I just was a drug addict and I
All
wasn't.
right, so when were you at the sober living?
I moved in November 8th, 2024, and I've been there ever since.
What do you call probation?
Because we did call probation when I was at New Choices Treatment Center,
Mhm.
and the recommendation was to get a lawyer and to take care of the warrant.
Okay.
So when I got out, my plan was to work, which I did get a job and get some money and then get a lawyer. However, I just decided instead to, months later, obviously, to turn myself in on March 6th.
All right. Probation, did you all receive a phone call from Mr. Delgado?
It was around, well, I was admitted August 20th. It would have happened around August, September. My probation officer at the time was Stephanie Keys.
All right, August, September. And counsel, do you have any objection to the court review and the court summary?
No.
There is a progress report, Judge, in September of 2024 from New Choices Treatment Center. There was communication that week. Yes, Judge.
All right.
And Judge,
And so, just 1 second. So tell me everything that you're learning.
Well, if I may,
he wrote a letter.
Sure.
yes. Let's see. Well, I would like to apologize to Your Honor, the courts and probation office for wasting your time dealing with my past mistake. After 22.
Slow down. Yes, the
Oh,
court reporter has to take it down.
Take a breath.
yeah. After 22 years of drinking and drugging, I never thought I would be here standing before you 7 months sober. I cannot dispute the allegations on the MTR notice because at the time I was a full-on homeless drug addict. But with the help of a cousin and the grace of God, I was directed to the Corazon Ministries Day Center for a shower and a meal, and my life was forever changed. I was Brittany Ackerson and Jenny, the caseworker, used their resources and reached out to Krisha and at New Choices, where I was admitted on August 20th, 2024, my sober date. I completed the 90-day program and transitioned to Best Days Recovery Sober Living Home on November 8th, thanks to Michael and Charles Nolan, their directors. There, I became the chore coordinator while attending IOP via Zoom 3 times a week, a minimum of 5 recovery support meetings a week, submitted to random drug screenings. I even found time to give back and do some volunteer work at Corazon Ministries. I met my employer there with Wise Water Solutions. I've been working as an apprentice irrigation technician with hopes of becoming licensed soon. I'm an active member of Community Bible Church. I was baptized November 26th. I completed IOP in February from New Choices Treatment Center. And I truly am grateful for my sponsor, Justice Simmons, who advised me, that's why I'm here, to turn myself in on March 6th. I can't say I didn't do it. I can't say I did it alone. I have an amazing support system now that includes my cousin, Diane, Victoria, Catherine, my best friend, Jennifer, the housemates at Best Days, my sponsor, Justice. And it's the closest relationship I have with my higher power in my adult life. I thank you for this time, and I truly thank you for being a part of my recovery.
All right.
Whatever.
So here's my question. So the sober house you're living at, will they allow you to come back, or they're just waiting for you to come back?
Yes, they are. They're holding my spot.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. The court will deny the motion. And the defendant is to continue to live at the sober support center. Probation, is there anything else you're requesting? He's to continue with, his sober meetings. And you're gonna have to sign a release so that probation can get information from the sober support home and for the classes that you're currently taking. You understand?
I understand. Yes.
Well, I'm not gonna extend him. And the reason why I'm not gonna extend him is because it appears that he's maintained his sobriety. Didn't do it with us, but he did it. And the fact that he turned himself in, I really do appreciate that. So based upon the letter that he's read to the court, it appears that he's internalizing everything, and this is a state jail felony, so I'm not inclined to extend. But you're gonna have to keep up with everything. Do not backslide, do not fall out of line. You need to report to probation, make sure you report to them, all right?
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
And do you still do they do drug testing where you are now?
Yes, they do.
All right, so if you all want to confer with that organization on how they do their drug testing. So I'll say bi-weekly UAs, but if you all find their drug testing acceptable, you can use their drug testing. Anything else? Anything else you need from the court?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. So here's the thing, everybody, I'll say except for the younger generation, all of us were baptized in the creek. So we would always tease the people who were baptized in the church pool that you're really not saved because that's a pool, you're not in the creek. We're having to deal with maybe a snake is gonna come up. We had to walk across the cow patties because we had to go to the field. So were you baptized in a pool where it's all sanitized?
Yes, I was.
But Sean, he was baptized in the pool in the church where it's all sanitized. There's no fear that you're gonna step on an ant pile, But Sean, I could not swim. So one of my my uncles was there and my mom was like, don't y'all let my baby drown. So it was deep water. Y'all have the pool that's not much water, but well, good luck to you. Here's the thing. Do not do this thing where you don't report. You understand? You need to make sure you stay in contact with them. And whether or not you're off this probation in August is going to be completely up to you. You understand?
Yes, I do.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You too.
Good luck.
And Mr. Hopke, can you let your client know I have no control? They're probably not going to release him from the jail till midnight.
Yeah.
So if he knows somebody who can pick him up. All right, it's Monday. We're not retired. We thought we would be. It's cold. It shouldn't be. It's going to be cold tomorrow. Wearing a sweater in April. Who would have thought that? But guess what? That tells you one thing. Your life can change on a dime. So any one of us here today could win the lottery. So everyone have some patience in your pocket. Take it out as needed and share it. Please confer. All right, who is here on Kevin Alfred James Jones?
Mr. Jones was here a couple of months ago, Judge, and we just said that we set this for a status update.
Okay,
As of right now, the probation office doesn't have any major concerns. He is reporting as needed. He's doing what he has to do. All of his UAs have been negative. I did speak with Mr. Jones to see how he's doing.
Mhm.
He indicates that he's going to school, everything's going well there. He's taking care of that baby, everything's going well there. I did tell him, though, the only concern that probation is having is he hasn't registered for his courses, but as of like right now, with a newborn child and he's going to school, he has a lot of things on his plate. So I did tell him that he needs to make that a priority. But again, taking it one day at a time.
All right, so what school are you going to?
South Texas Vocational Technical Institute.
All right, so then, Ms. Abrams, with regards to his community service restitution hours?
I believe he said he was gonna get credit if he finished the parenting class.
Yes, and also, if he finishes the trade school. Or, I mean, sorry, the vocational school. And then did you complete your CPR class for newborns? So how old is your baby now?
She'll be 2 months tomorrow.
Look at this. You gotta celebrate them every day. And you're loving changing diapers?
I'm fine with it.
Oh, that is always good. And how is your patience? Because babies require a lot of patience.
No choice but to have it.
Yeah. All right. And I always ask people that because sometimes people don't have patience for babies. And the only way that they can tell you something is wrong is if they're crying or sometimes I watched this episode of Sesame Street growing up and it was with Elmo. And so baby Elmo was crying in the crib. And so on Sesame Street, they had the baby Elmo sing a song. And so the parents would come in and then they would leave. Baby starts crying again. So the baby would sing this song and the baby would say, sometimes I cry because I'm hungry. Sometimes I cry because my diaper's wet. Sometimes I cry because I just want to see you. And sometimes I cry just because. Just because. There's nothing else to do. Let me cry. Let me see what control I have in the household. And I always tell people if they realize that babies are in control of the household, that's the hierarchy. Babies, adults, children come before that. So is there anything you need from the court? All right, so here's the thing. If you see like your patience is getting a little frayed, or if you see that there are some issues with your probation, that you're having trouble doing certain things, let your probation officer know. If you feel they're not addressing it, you can always come back to court and we'll see what's going on.
Yes.
All right, so for the court, my main concerns is one, of course, taking care of your child, being a good adult influence in her life. And then the community service hours, they'll take care of themselves if you finish your vocational school and your parenting classes, okay?
Yes.
And continue to stay clean because your baby needs you.
Yes.
Drug-free, okay? So is there anything else, probation? All right, so I have you on, he's still on GPS, right?
He is on GPS tracking.
All right, so, and you've been on GPS for, is it just for the 2 months since February? How long
Yes,
you been on
Judge.
GPS?
Since February.
All right, so this is what I'll do. So you continue doing what you're doing. And what I'll do is, let me get a date here. I would say that 3rd week in July, if everything is going well, then I will take you off GPS.
Yes.
Whether you're taking off or not, depends 100% on you. Okay? Any questions? Anything else?
No, good.
All right, good job. Thank you. Tell the baby I said hi.
She's at daycare.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing too, keep an eye on that daycare. Because babies can't talk, they can't tell you if somebody is not treating them right. Do some surprise pop-ins.
Yes,
All right. All right, good luck to you.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome.
2025 CR.
Robert Barnett.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing this
Alright.
morning? All right, counsel, on this case, where are we on discovery?
Your Honor, so far I feel like I've gotten everything.
Was the state able to tender an offer?
They did all, at this time, Your Honor, I'm needing some time to get some letters,
Mhm.
explaining the situation so the state can get a little bit better enlightenment as to what happened.
All right, and how old are you, sir?
37.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, if you can set this for the second week in May for a plea deadline date, please. I'm sorry, what date?
May 13th.
Yes, that's a Tuesday.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, we will see you back then. Once you sign the reset form, you are excused, and thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome. Robert James Thompson. Who's the attorney for Robert James Thompson? Mr. Thompson?
Hello.
Hi, all right, how are you doing this morning?
Doing all right.
Was it cold this morning? I already know they already keep the jail extremely cold.
Keep people awake, you know.
All right, so today is your plea deadline date. Are you requesting a jury trial still?
Judge, we're here for a motion to reduce bond.
All right, but today is his plea deadline date as well. So let's address the plea
Okay,
deadline
okay.
date. So do you still wish to have a jury trial?
I ain't even ready for a jury trial.
I'm sorry, what?
We're not even ready. We ain't.
All right, so if you'll discuss with your client this plea offer and see if he wants to accept this offer or not, because the day is his plea deadline date. So if you,
No, I haven't discussed that, Your Honor.
all right, so if you all will discuss that, and then when you all are ready to approach, I'll take you up.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
thank you. Daniel Edward Guerrero Jr. Yes. Mr. Guerrero, come down. All right, hello.
Hello.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than I was yesterday.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
I know it's probably freezing at the jail.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where are we on discovery?
Good morning, Judge. I've been talking to Mr. Edelman. I've seen the videos have been downloaded, but I didn't get the prosecution guide. So I was looking at the prosecution guide this morning. I talked to Mr. Edelman, so it's the first setting. I'd like a reset so I can take a closer look at the prosecution guide and confer with Mr. Edelman a little more intelligently.
All right, how many pages to the prosecution guide?
6 or 7.
All right, you want to make copies of the prosecution guide while you're here?
That's fine, or I can, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine, Judge. Thank you.
So if you'll let him make copies of the prosecution guide, state. And then, Ms. Ferguson, set this for the week of May 5th for discovery. May 8th, that's a Thursday.
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
All right, so that will be your discovery date, and state at that time you need to be prepared to tender an offer.
Yes, Judge.
All right, Counselor, is there anything else?
No, Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, sir, do you have any questions?
No, I guess I'm supposed to be.
Okay. Gregory Gonzalez Perneda. Good morning. How's it going?
Like I was telling somebody earlier, when I woke up, I wasn't trying to fight away, scratch my way out of a ball.
All right, so where's your client? Ah,
Right here.
here. So,
We were
It
here,
is.
we were here last Wednesday or Thursday. He gave us until today
yes.
to complete that line.
All right, so, how are you doing?
You know,
I'm doing great. Yes.
oh, he was turning down the plea bargain,
Right.
completely on the trial docket.
So do you want a jury trial or a bench trial? This is what I can tell you. If you come to me for a bench trial, if the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty. If they don't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you not guilty. So if you come to me for a bench trial, my job would be the same as a jury, just to listen to the evidence and make a decision on whether or not the state has proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. So do you want a jury trial or a bench trial? And what I can tell you, sir, is I've had cases before me that have been a bench trial where I found people not guilty. There have been cases before me where there's been a bench trial. I found people guilty. So for me, it doesn't matter in the sense of what your charges are, of how I view the case. I'm still going to listen, you know, and see if the state proves its case. If it's a murder case, if the state doesn't prove their case, I would find you not guilty. If they did prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I would find you guilty. So for the court, I don't look at a charge and say, oh my gosh, what will people think if I find this person not guilty? For me, it's did the state prove their case or not? So it's up to you. If you want a jury trial, 12 people will be called up. They'll listen to the evidence and they'll make a decision if they can reach a decision on whether you're guilty or not guilty.
Here's what I can put on the jury docket.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, 2 days. This includes jury selection. It should be a fairly simple case. Can we call this back for the week of April 21st?
What day of the week is that, Judge?
That's a Monday.
That's fine.
All right, April 21st will be your jury trial date. They'll bring you over dressed for trial and whatever attire you have at the jail. If you wish to be attired in something different, you will need to set up a clothing exchange with your attorney. If there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
All right.
Right, thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge. Thank
You're
you.
welcome, sure. And Norma? Everybody on April 21st need to be brought over dressed for trial. How Florida?
It's lonely at the top.
You know what?
It's lonely at the top.
Let me just tell you, the other day, some attorneys were here and I said, I know for football season, Kanea's gonna say he can't sleep, but hey, I saw the photos from the game.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So everyone, if you're not aware, the Florida Gators have been doing their thing in the Final Four. They're now in the Final Two.
Right.
And so, of course, Mr. Cox has his Gator badge and also the Gator hat, if you could show it to everybody. So, yeah. So here's the thing, LSU is not in it. Texas Longhorns are not in it. The Aggies are not in it. Alabama is not in it. So I know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for your team.
I appreciate it, Judge. I appreciate it.
I think it's gonna go well.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see what happens.
And you're right, it is lonely at the,
Lonely at the top.
but you know what? You will have your friends cheering. So I'm gonna cheer.
I think the Florida came out different in the second half. Yeah, we're second half team. They made some adjustments.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Are
went
you
in
a
and-
second half team or did other people look in the mirror, as you like to say?
Okay, they saw themselves and then said, hey, why we here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you always tell me at some point with Cinderella?
Clock always strikes.
Clock strikes 12.
Especially we'll see what happens.
All right, well, good luck.